The Story of Burnt Njal, Chapter 11. Thorvald's Slaying. Thorvald rode home from the bridal feast, and his wife with him, and Thjostolf, who rode by her horse's side, and still talked to her in a low voice. Oswulf returned to his son, and said, Art thou pleased with thy match? And how went it when ye talked together? Well, said he, she showed all kindness to me. Thou mightest see that by the way she laughs at every word I say. I don't think her laughter so hearty as thou dost, answered Oswulf, but this will be put to the proof by and by. So they ride on till they come home, and at night she took her seat by her husband's side, and made room for Thjostolf next to herself on the inside. Thjostolf and Thorvald had little to do with each other, and few words were thrown away between them that winter, and so time went on. Hallgerda was prodigal and grasping, and there was nothing that any of their neighbors had that she must not have too, and all that she had, no matter whether it were her own or belonged to others, she wasted. But when the spring came, there was a scarcity in the house, both of meal and stockfish. So Hallgerda went up to Thorvald and said, Thou must not be sitting indoors any longer, for we want for the house both meal and fish. Well, said Thorvald, I did not lay in less for the house this year than I laid in before, and then it used to last till summer. What care I, said Hallgerda, if thou and thy father have made your money by starving yourselves? Then Thorvald got angry, and gave her a blow on the face that drew blood, and went away and called his men and ran the skiff down the shore. Then 6 of them jumped into her, and rowed out to the Bear Isles, and began to load her with meal and fish. Meantime it was said that Hallgerda sat out of doors heavy at heart. Thjostolf went on to her, and saw the wound on her face, and said, Who has been playing thee this sorry trick? My husband Thorvald, she said, and thou stoodst aloof, though thou wouldst not if thou hadst cared at all for me. Because I knew nothing about it, said Thjostolf, but I will avenge it. Then he went away down to the shore, and ran out a 6-oared boat, and held in his hand a great axe that he had with a haft overlaid with iron. He steps into the boat and rows out to the Bear Isles, and when he got there all the men had rowed away but Thorvald and his followers, and he stayed by the skiff to load her while they brought the goods down to him. So Thjostolf came up just then and jumped into the skiff, and began to load with him, and after a while he said, Thou canst do but little at this work, and that little thou dost badly. Think'st thou canst do it better? Said Thorvald. There's one thing to be done, which I can do better than thou, said Thjostolf, and then he went on, The woman who is thy wife has made a bad match, and you shall not live much longer together. Then Thorvald snatched up a fishing knife that lay by him, and made a stab at Thjostolf. He had lifted his axe to his shoulder and dashed it down. It came on Thorvald's arm and crushed the wrist, but down fell the knife. Then Thjostolf lifted up his axe a second time and gave Thorvald a blow on the head, and he fell dead on the spot.